Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful day here in Clearwater. Unfortunately, the Valspar Championship was canceled. It'd be starting Monday, and then the tournament would start on Thursday. Anyhow, we're going to talk about some block practice, shoulder turn, and just look at some slow motion training when you're doing swing changes. A lot of you guys are coming in here with some swings that you developed without any training, and we cannot unlearn what we've already learned, but what we can do is we can write an entirely new book, a whole new motor pattern, but it's going to take effort, block practice, daily repetitions without hitting the ball, and just getting a new motor pattern. So we're going to just really talk about shoulder turn today. Hey Fred Adler, what's going on, man? Congratulations on the low 80s, soon to be low 70s. Great effort, great work, and congratulations, man. Keep up the good work. We're going to be looking at shoulder turn. Couple things, it's just how the body works. Like if I have my body's arched like this, it's going to be pretty hard to turn my shoulder. If I take a swing like this, even like this, looks like a full swing, but there's really not a lot of shoulder turn, and we want to look at, this is all arms, and we need to get that shoulder turn, this right shoulder turn. So if I was doing a row, I was rowing, and I get to here, and then I turn, it's easier to do that versus having the arm up here and trying to turn and lift the arm up. So when we're doing rows here and I just turn, I get a full width, wide shoulder turn here. Now yeah, I'm flat, I have a flat shoulder plane, but when I get in my golf posture and I just keep my arms like this, I can get a full shoulder turn here. And when you have a full shoulder turn, and good timings, it's pretty hard to hit a bad shot with good timing and a shoulder turn. So typically we get to here, we try and start a downswing, but there's really no full shoulder turn. That's the full shoulder turn I'm looking for. Just to get this shoulder to turn all the way back, and from the face on view, that's not a full shoulder turn. It's a full left arm elevation. So here, that's a full shoulder turn. And when we can get to that, then it's easy to start the downswing, come right into the slot, and then be ready to impact fix and just develop a good swing through motion. So I'm just going to take club. You guys have all probably done some of the windmill turns or the sweeping of the dust. This is just similar to sweeping the dust or windmill turn. Windmill turns, basically, I'm in my posture. And I'm windmill turns. So you see here, if I turn, my shoulder, the shoulder is fully turned. Now when we have our arms together, it's obviously harder to turn that far around. Here, I can turn past, 150 degrees. And here, I can probably get to 120 degrees. So, these are windmill turns. You can do sweeping in the dust. Or you can just take the club, put it in front of your chest, and just turn. And you look in the mirror, and you make sure that you have a good stance and posture, and just slowly turn, and hold it there. Hold it there for a count of 5 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. So we're training our brain and our body to be able to do this motor pattern, but if your body can't do it, well, then you need to start working out a little bit harder. You know, if we identified that you had in the seated rotation, if we identified with your knees together and your feet together that you couldn't turn, this is as far as you could turn, and you can't go past 45 degrees, you were given some exercises to overcome that challenge. Hey, good morning, Tom. Good to see you here. Hope the horse training's going well. Hope the golf game's going well. So, shoulder turn. We want to make sure that we get the shoulder turn in our block practice. So, got a good stance. Let me get a better angle here so you can see my feet. I got a forward in my hand, so I'm getting set up with a pretty wide stance. Shoulder width, a little further in shoulder width. I get a good posture. And I can do a slow motion takeaway, shoulder turn. And as I turn my hands, arms, and shoulders, it's going to start pulling the hips. Hips are going to pull in the knee. And I am fully loaded with a great shoulder turn. Start the downswing sequence. Get the weight to the front foot. So the left knee, left knee, left knee, hips, shoulders, arms, and the club head flying right through. So the shoulder turn, you're going to want to do this club across the chest and just work that move. Look in the mirror face on, look in the mirror on the side and see if you get the shoulder to turn. Because if I have my shoulders, so if you look at my back, it's pretty good posture, a slight little curve. My arms aren't extended here, getting too much curve. It's just naturally hanging here. Now, if they were like this, it'd be pretty hard to do a shoulder turn. But when I get in my proper posture, and I get to here, elevate, and then continue with the shoulder turn. I have a full shoulder turn. And if you look at those images that I posted earlier, that young lady has a pretty good shoulder turn, a pretty good sequence. We don't look at really the positions because we're not looking for position golf. We're looking for an efficient swing based on what your body's capable of doing. Looking for alignments. Golf is geometry, straight lines and circles. Remember, we're swinging on an inclined plane in a circle. So here I come back, I've got my posture set up. One piece takeaway, hands, arms, shoulders. Continue to elevate the left arm, continue to pull the shoulder back. And this is key. It's just like if I was doing a row or a lat pull. The more that I get this elbow tucking here and back here, it's easier for me to feel that motion turning back. I'm basically turning back. When I do this, it forces my shoulder to turn back. I'm just exaggerating here, but this allows me to get my right shoulder, my trail shoulder, to fully turn around. Hands, arms, shoulders, hips, left arm elevation, shoulder turn. So I'm fully turned right there. And you can hold these positions. It feels muscularly challenged. Could be tight, could be awkward. Here, there. And then I want to make sure I feel my weight in the right parts of my feet. Boom. And so from the face on view, high, left arm elevation, shoulder turn. I'm fully loaded right there. Awesome description, I finally get it. Fred, that's so cool. Thanks for sharing it, man. So we're swinging around our spine, and if you look at figure skaters, when they have their body really close and together, they can go really, 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 really fast. And how do they slow down? They open up their arms. That's how they slow down. So when you have everything closer to the spine, since it's our center, what we're swinging around, if I keep a nice tight structure with my hands, arms, and I have a structure here, this magical device, and if you look at my shoulders, if I can focus on my lead shoulder in this structure, I'm going to push that lead shoulder right underneath my chin. Hands, arm, shoulder right on plane. That left shoulder right underneath my chin. And then when I start my downswing, I want to make sure that I thrust this shoulder up and slightly visually out this way, knowing that I'm swinging on an inclined plane. And as we all know, with these clubs, if I was just to put the ball in the center of my stance and just flip it, the ball's going to go left. So it went left a few degrees that way. So what I need to do visually and physically is aim a little bit, not aim, but direct my left lead shoulder a little bit left of this target line on the downswing, and I thrust up, and visually I'm swinging out. Because remember, we always talk about going back, we're going back, we're going up, we're going in. So we're going back, up, and in. I need to come down, out, and then forward. So that out is slightly coming across this way a little bit. So I'm getting in my position here, and I'm going back up and in, and I'm going to come down, and I'm going to drag my shoulder in this magical hold device on this inclined circular plane out, and then finish forward, down the target line. Everything is going towards the target line, but visually, since we're swinging on that inclined plane, this circle, I've got to swing a little bit out. So, just have a 4-wood in my hand. I only carry 1 wood in my bag. It's a 3-wood. I have a driver, a 3-wood, and then a 3-iron all the way up to my wedges. So I don't use many woods. I use a driver and a lot of irons. I don't necessarily try and go for a lot of par 5s and 2, because the distances that I play with, I just can't reach it. So we're going to do this again, slow motion block practice. I got a good grip, good stance and posture. Hands, arms, shoulders, hips. Full shoulder turn. Now you look at someone like, who's that? The kid that won the PGA championship. He's down here. And he's got this really low stance in the shoulder. So he's got a pretty, what do you want to say? He's got a pretty steep shoulder plane. And then there's others that have flatter shoulder planes. Just do what's right for you. You're going to know when you just take it straight back and you elevate your left arm where your plane should be. Hands, arms, shoulders, hips. fully loaded, and you're gonna have to, when you're making these swing changes from where you were before you started this journey to where you're headed to, you've got to do block practice 3 to 5 minutes a day, over and over and over, until it becomes a whole new unconscious pattern to where you don't have to get over the ball and think about hands, arms, shoulders, hips there. You need to be doing the training indoors in front of a mirror, just doing hands, arms, shoulders, hips. Hands, arms, shoulders, hips. And you can do it slow motion training. Hands, arms, shoulders, hips, set. So you can practice your backswing 3 minutes a day, every fucking day of the year. Every day. Until it becomes an unconscious pattern. And then you're done with that. It's your new motor pattern. It's new, it's done. It's automatic. It's going to happen no matter what. Then all you have to do is step up to a ball, pick your distance, pick your lie, pick your wind conditions, find your target, go through your routine, take your practice swing, step up to the ball, align up to it, confirm it, and then send it. And then relive it if it was good. That was a really good swing. Relive it if it was good, and if it was bad, just fix it. This is what you've been trained to do. Now, the reason I hit that really, really, really well is, as I mentioned earlier, a great tempo or a great timing, it's pretty difficult to hit a bad shot. With great tempo and timing and rhythm, it's really difficult to hit a bad shot as long as you've got the right training. So I had some really good timing. And what I mean by timing, if I make a mistake on the course, my timing from the top of the swing to the downswing, that transition, my timing is all jacked up. It's like I'm a thoroughbred horse, and I'm just sprinting out, just trying to get out. And so you're going to have to train, if that's one of your challenges, is your downswing timing or your transition timing. Well, you're going to have to do block practice. And what better way to do block practice is as you can see, this first part of this training, I've just been doing hands, arms, shoulders, hips. Hands, arms, shoulders, hips, knee, and there's my top. So then you can also train, like we did in January and early February. We did the first part of the swing, and then we did the second part of the swing. So you can get to this point here where you're at the top, and make sure you have a full shoulder turn, and then you just work on your timing. And you just think about it. And you just go. You can get a metronome, you can do your own sound metronome. I do my own sound metronome. And I can change the rhythm, I can speed it up. And when I had a real slow timing, I hit a lot of better shots. So I step up to the target, I've got my top club, I've got my distance, I've got my target. I take my practice swing, I line up to it, I confirm it, and then I send it. And that was a bad swing, so I'll relive it. There. So I know what I did wrong. My timing was off, I lost my grip, and I came too far inside. And so you've got to continue training. 1, 2, 3. Hey Calvin, what's going on? Good morning. So you guys have any questions? Remember, what we're doing is we're training the shoulder turn. I find it more often than not that myself and amateur golfers, we just don't get our shoulder turned back far enough. We use a lot of left arm elevation for right-handed golfers. We just try and elevate our arms here, and you can see my shoulder's not turned. That's a shoulder turn. And so we can take this rear shoulder, and if I'm doing a row or a lat pull, and I can exaggerate it here and turn, that's going to allow the shoulder to open up and fully turn. So if I get it to here, I'm not going to get much shoulder turn. So I can go here, or right there, and attempt to try it that way. It's easier. So if you just get to the sense that you're doing a lat pull, and then you're keeping these elbows, 2 lat pulls and elbows tucked in, and then your arms here, and then you pull that lat back here, it's so much easier to just turn. It's easy to turn that shoulder. And you just have to do block practice, just turn the shoulder. Now, once you get the shoulder turned down, then you want to keep my trail leg, my trail hip, and put some resistance from turning. Now, if I let my hips turn with my shoulder, you're not going to get as much torsion or tension, and you're going to lose distance. So if I can, when you train the shoulder turn, I want you to train the shoulder turn fully. You're going to train the shoulder turn fully over and over and over, 3 minutes a day for however long it takes you to become a new motor pattern. Then, after you do that, now I want you to do the shoulder turn by resisting the hips from turning. So you see my hips, they didn't turn much. Now they turn. So most of you on here are turning your hips with it. And I want you to, number one, train your shoulders to turn back. And then once you've got that feeling done, then start resisting your hips. And this is how you're going to get a lot of torsion. And then you'll be able to get a lot of distance because you're unwinding this tension between the upper and lower body. And when you get down here, then you knee drive, and then the hips open up. And this is this kinematic sequence for the lower body, then the shoulders, then the arms, and then the club head, and then there's just a lot of speed. And if you've been doing your super speed training, well, you probably gained 3 to 12 miles per hour of speed. What kind of questions does anybody have on this topic or any topic? So anything that you're doing in the first month, putting, finesse wedges, bunker, those new motor patterns are still block practice. You've got to learn the new motor pattern. You got to learn how to swing left-handed only with the finesse wedge. You've got to learn how to do this move with the finesse wedge. You've got to learn how to do just where it's up to plane toe up, club head first, arm and chest, and then the hips. Club head first starts the downswing, arm and chest, and then the hips. And then you got to be able to do it with the right hand. Up to plane toe up, club head first, arm and chest, and then hips. Energy flows towards the target, spaghetti arms. And then both hands. Club head first on the downswing, arm and chest, and then the hips. Block practice, guys, 3 minutes to 5 minutes every day with these new motor patterns, and then it just becomes supernatural. because you guys are all supernatural. Where in sequence does power accumulator 2 and 3 relation? Okay, this sounds like a fun question. Let me where in sequence does power accumulator 2 and 3 in relation to shoulder turn? Ooh, this is a fun question, Tom. I like it. So, if I take a one-piece takeaway, hands, arms, shoulders, hips, right here. Now, since my face is closed, I really haven't used power accumulator number 3. So when I get up to the top, and there's a couple things. They're in these power accumulators, they can be used in 2 types of swing. There is a swinging action, which is centrifugal force, and then there's a hitter's action, which is centripetal force, which is all muscle power. We're just using muscle power. So for example, when I accumulate power accumulator number 1, let's just say that I do a 1 with a shoulder turn, right? Okay, and the only power accumulator I'm focused on is number 1. To release this number 1, it's just straightening of the tricep. That's a muscle move. It's just like a piston. So as I get to here, I'm just straightening and firing. Let me get a shorter club. So I get up to here, shoulder. So I get to the top of my swing. This is where the hitter stops, right here, shoulder height. Now a swinger gets to the end because when I get as a swinger, and this is some complex stuff, Tom. We'll get more into this. But as I get to here, as a hitter's action, I can number 1 rotate 3, just turn open the face, and then I cock the wrist. Those can be done anywhere from start up to end, or the top, from start up to end. So in relationship, where in sequence does power accumulator 2 and 3 in relation to shoulder turn? I would look at it this way, Tom. I have a wedge in my hand. I would look at my hands and my arms, my shoulders is this one magical device, this power package. We'll call it the power package. This power package. In this power package, there are 4 power accumulators, okay? We got 3, which is we're going to turn open, and we got 2, which we're going to cock. So you can start those, those are the power accumulators, okay? So if I cock it and I turn it, that's done there. I can do that anywhere in the swing. I can do it right out of the gate, right there, and then I just continue elevating my left arm and bending my right elbow, power accumulator 1 and 4, and I can stop right here. There's still no shoulder turn. So I've got to turn that shoulder. So the accumulators, they can be started at any time during the swing. You can let them do it like you can let them happen naturally up here in a swinger's action. So the sequence can happen right out of the gate. I can start turning my wrist. I can start turning the club face open and get in that power accumulation. I can cock my wrist early here and then just turn my shoulders. So I hope that answered your question. If not, write another question and see if it did. But if you look at the power package is these hands, arms, and shoulders together. Because we got pressure point number 4 and power accumulator number 4. This arm, when this arm goes up here, that's power, and that power is released by flinging off the chest, and the lat can lead, aka Lee Westwood. If you look at Lee Westwood's swing from the last 10 years ago, you saw his big back lat muscle, and he would just muscle power 4 all day long. Power accumulator number 2, it's just cocking of the left wrist, and you can actually turn the forearm in that one motion. So you can conk and turn just with the left wrist, left hand. And I can do this here, and there's still no shoulder turn. So you've got to train the shoulder turn. You've got to pull the shoulder back. And it's a training mechanism that you got to train, because we're so used to just swing with our arms, and we forget about the shoulder turn. The shoulder turn right around the spine. And we're not swinging straight up. There's a slight tilt. Swinging around our spine. But great question. See, I can get to here, and that's really not a good swing, because I haven't got the shoulder turn. Now, if it's a distance wedge, and I'm only working on, say, 9 o'clock swings, I'm still going to have a shoulder turn, but I want to make sure that this shoulder is not out here, and I'm just doing that. I want to make sure that I'm in good posture. This is coming back a little bit. And when this comes back and I turn, even at 9 o'clock, I'm still getting a good shoulder turn for the swing that I'm doing, the distance wedge. It's still a good shoulder turn. It's not a full swing because I'm working on a distance wedge. So if I'm working on, a 7:30 swing, the shoulder is still turned and it's still in line here. It's not hunched down this way. It's still in line. It's just a smaller shoulder turn. I'm not trying to go 120 degrees with the driver swing. Some of you guys can't get to 90 degrees, and that's okay. Keep working on your flexibility. Love the question, Tom. Anybody else? So we want to continue to do the block practice, especially when it comes to the finesse wedges. This is right arm only. And you're going to do, since the finesse wedge sequence is up the plane, toe up, and then we start down with the club head, then the arms in the chest, and then the hips, that's the exact same sequence in the bunker. Exact same sequence in the bunker. So if this is a finesse wedge, this would be the bunker swing. Just a little bit more speed, because remember, we've got to strike the match through that sand, and we're hitting the sand, we're not hitting the ball. And so if this is my finesse wedge for, say, a 17-yard finesse wedge shot, that might even be too hard, depending on the law. Just to get that to carry about 17 yards, maybe 20 yards, just like that. If I get to hit a bunker out 17 yards, I've got to make sure that I get up quickly and then I swing with a little bit more oomph. But it's still the same sequence. It's the club head, arms, and then the chest, and everything fires through. And you guys can buy a cheap fucking carpet and tear it up by practicing without ever hitting the ball, just the right motor pattern. And then this is where timings and tempo and rhythm come into play. A good timing with good technique never hit a bad finesse wedge. Now if you try and just go too quick, you're going to run into issues, because then you're going to take this arm over the plane. So it's up the plane, toe up, drop the club head down, energy flows towards the target, club head, arm, chest, hips. Switch the arms, nice tempo. little bit out of timing. Good. So we want to look at our shoulder turn block practice. Just to recap, shoulder turn, shoulder turn, shoulder turn, hands, arms, shoulders, hips, shoulder turn, feels good. So as I do this over and over, then I'm going to start resisting the hips from turning. If you notice, my hips aren't turning as much. That's a pretty powerful sequence. So you practice the takeaway. This is just like the training we did with Hogan's 5 lessons, you know. Grip, stance, and posture. The first part of the swing is here. The second part of the swing is here. And then there. And you can practice this over and over and over inside, just like I've done the last 30 minutes, without hitting the ball. Here, here. Hold your finish. Make sure you got your weight on your front foot. Fully turn. If you're having a hard time, get back in and do that flexibility training. So you guys have any questions? Some of you that need to get on my calendar, let's Zoom. Everybody else, keep doing the drills, block practice, and once you get the drill down, then go out there and do some random practice and some games and start keeping score. 21 is a really good game. Humpty Dumpty is a really good game. You know, rolling the ball across the yardstick 10 times in a row, you do that without it coming off that yardstick, you're going to be a really, really good putter. Anyhow, get on my calendar. You guys have a great weekend. And we'll be doing some pretty good fitness training this week. Talk to you soon.